My name is Andrew Perlott. Welcome to Socratic State of Mind. What Gandalf and the Stoics got right about chocolate temptation, navigating desire and getting what we want. You'll take the chocolate treats home from the store and only eat them on special occasions in very moderate portions. This is what you tell yourself in the aisle, eyes gleaming. There are people who do this. It sounds wise and moderate, but I'm not one of those people, and there's a good chance you're not either. When we try this, we lose. Our society is full of people failing to eat moderately in our taste utopia, who can't exercise moderately in our sedentary world. Moderate social media use and screen time, moderate drug and alcohol use. This stuff is hard, and even those driven by high standards often fail. There's something to be said for working on improving our discipline and focus in the face of temptation. There's a reason why the ancient Stoics had sophrosony, which is discipline or moderation, as one of the four cardinal virtues. But there's also a reason why Tolkien made his wisdom-personified wizard Gandalf avoid one temptation like it would be the end of him. Because, in a sense, it would be. Certain temptations will destroy us, even if they pass others by. And in this spot, I have a video from the Lord of the Rings movie where Gandalf is rejecting the Ring of Power, which is being offered to him. This reticence echoes the famous dictum of Greek philosophy. Know thyself. If you've failed to moderate something 3 times, maybe it's best not to test it again, or at least not until you've done serious work on yourself. Sometimes abstinence is the only sane course, even for things others don't regard as addictive or problematic. Quote, "The better part of valor is discretion, in which better part I have saved my life." Shakespeare, Henry IV. Modern psychology research backs up this approach. Look at your kitchen. One study found that if there's candy, cereal, sweetened beverages, or dried fruit visible, the family is likely to be significantly heavier than those without visibly tempting food. On the other hand, a bowl of fruit is actually associated with lower body weight. Not rocket science. You'll likely eat what you buy, so don't buy it at all unless you have a clear track record of succeeding against lower stakes food temptation. Another study gave 40 university staff members Hershey Kisses in clear or opaque containers, either on their desks or 6 feet away. Researchers counted how many candies were eaten after each workday and refilled the jars. Subjects ate 7.7 chocolate kisses when they were in clear containers on their desks, 4.6 when the candy was in opaque containers on the desk, 5.6 when in clear jars 6 feet away, and 3.1 when in opaque jars 6 feet away. Out of sight, out of mind. Making mindless consumption harder and less convenient either reduces the temptation or the ability to act on it. These modest choices are what practical wisdom often looks like. The Stoic approach to temptation. Despite the Stoic valorization of moderation, Epictetus is clear-eyed about how hard moderation is. He suggests we're often better off discarding desire than trying to moderate it. Check out his advice for young students. Quote, "The things that are highly regarded and eagerly pursued are of no value to those who acquire them, while those who have not yet acquired them fancy that once they do, they'll be in possession of all that is good. But when they have them, there is the same scorching heat as before, the same fierce agitation, the same sense of surfeit, the same desire for what one doesn't have. For freedom is not attained through the satisfaction of desire, but through the suppression of desire." That's Discourses 4.1.174. you understand the hedonic treadmill Epictetus is talking about. You've experienced that sinking feeling that often follows gratification. Discarding desire trumps satisfying it much of the time and leads to happier lives and better outcomes. Often enough, avoiding temptation is the first step in being free of it. The abstinence bind. But this advice leaves us in a bind. While we might decide to forego drugs, alcohol, and soda, we must eat and probably have to use the internet. Abstinence won't remove all temptations. So what do? My most powerful moderating technique are the masks I chain myself to in many circumstances. If you must approach temptation, restrain yourself from utilizing it in an out-of-bounds way. There's a link to that article where I discuss this. Deciding I will do X moderately is vague enough to be useless in many circumstances. It's helpful to have pre-decided standards to adhere to when temptation rears its head. Here are mine for food, and again, I provide a link here. Noticing and attention are understated elements of moderation and discipline. If we don't notice temptations pulling at us, nor when we discard our dearest values to pursue them, moderation is impossible. One way to rapidly ramp up noticing and beat temptation is to write down our temptations in the moment like this. And again, here is a link to the article where I discuss this technique. Being led around by the nose by our temptations is a pathetic and miserable way to live. Far better to be in control and experience less than out of control and unrestrained choice. The most tempting things rarely satisfy like we think they should, and usually don't bring enough pleasure to offset our loss of self-respect when they've overwhelmed us. So, however you do it, find a way to take the wheel and hew to your own standards. Thanks for listening. See you next time.